Hello there, welcome to this tutorial. Today we're going to talk about Socrative, one of the simplest and best formative assessment tools out there. We'll focus on the why, the when, and how to use Socrative in your classroom. As educators, we know how important that formative assessment is in our classrooms. We know that the constant feedback to our students helps them identify those weaknesses and strengths and therefore target those areas that need work. Socrative makes it very easy by providing us really good tools such as quizzes, quick questions, exit tickets, and space races. Socrative is a great tool for questioning and getting data back from your students. I believe that Socrative is a perfect tool to use during your guided practice or your lesson delivery, and then of course during the exit ticket. During your lesson you can ask the appropriate questions, get that data back, and then you can evaluate the progress of your lesson. Okay, now let's go ahead and jump into a basic tutorial on how to use Socrative. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is make sure we're in Socrative.com. Once you're in there, go ahead and click on Teacher Login. As you can see here, we have my information, but you guys just have to sign up, and it's super simple. Once you sign up, you're going to get to this area, which is basically your dashboard. You have all your main tools here. We have our quizzes, we have our space races, and our exit tickets. And then of course, if you're on the fly in the middle of your lesson, you can go ahead and give them a quick question. You have multiple choice, true and false, or short answer questions. As you can see up here, we have different options. Let's go ahead and visit quizzes first. This is basically where you find all of the quizzes that you create. This is also the section that you would go to create a new quiz. So this is a very important part. And of course, we'll go ahead and visit how to add a quiz later on. We also have this section here, which is the rooms section. Basically, with the paid version, you get to create more rooms. Right now, we're in the free version, so we only get the one room that we created at first. As you can see, it doesn't let you delete it because this is the one default room your kids are gonna log into every time you have an assignment. In the next section, we have reports. Under reports, basically every single time that you assign an activity, the report at the end gets saved here. Then of course you can go back and choose the test or quiz that you gave out, and you get these three options for the reporting. You get the option to download the report, view the chart, or just go back to the original page. So in this case, let's go ahead and just view the chart here online, and as you can see, it gives you the information for your kids, and you can always so you can go and check that without having to download the file. You can show their names and you can hide them, so in case you want to project that information, that data to your class, you can always hide the student names so you don't have to put anyone in the spot. I also wanted to show you how to download the report. So let's say you just want to save this for your grades. You basically just click download, and you should be able to have it as an Excel sheet, which you can save in your desktop and then have access to on later if you don't have access to the internet. So here you just basically click download, and this is how you would see it in Excel. You would see all the information that you need, the name, the grades, and the percentages. Pretty much everything you need. Now let's go ahead and show you how to add a quiz. It's a very simple process. You basically just click add quiz, you create a new one, and then it's going to start asking you for the name of the quiz first, and then you have the choice to even align it to your state standards, and of course depending on the subject, so you can always do that. Let me show you right here. Okay, but of course in this quiz we don't have those standards, and then you basically get to choose the type of question you want to add to your quiz. So we have the multiple choice, true and false, and short answer. So in this case, let's go ahead and add the multiple choice. You start by typing the question. You can even add an image per question. So in this particular case, let's go ahead and add this image. There we go. Okay, so super simple process, and then of course you guys would type your answer choices. So for our case, let's just go ahead and put answer 1, answer 2, answer 3, and answer 4. You can add as many answer choices as you want. but you don't have to. And then of course you click here to tell Socrative which is the right answer. Okay, so the one cool thing about Socrative is also that you can provide the explanation right after the kids submit the answer. So other programs, other websites don't have that. This one does. So it's really neat. Let's go ahead and add another question. We already did a multiple choice. Let's go ahead and add a true and false. And again, just you basically type the question. And then once you finish typing your question, you can just select whether the question is going to be true or false, basically. And it also gives you that explanation section. Let's just go ahead and put second explanation. There we go. Okay, so as simple as that. Let's go ahead and create the next type of question so you guys can see how it works. A short answer question, and this is even easier because you guys just provide the question here, and then of course you do have that section for the explanation. Depending on your problem or the question, you guys can provide an explanation. Okay, you can always do the clear thank you note. So now you can always go back and edit your questions. And I also like that Socrative allows you to do basic formatting on your questions. So if you guys want to bold something, or you also have the option to italicize and underline, you can do that in your questions and your answer choices. And then the other options that we have here on the side, we can of course duplicate the questions, which is very helpful whenever you have a bunch of questions that are similar. You don't have to retype everything, you can just duplicate it. And now you see that we have two of the same question. And of course, just like you can create questions, you can also delete questions. So let's go ahead and delete this second question that we don't need. Alright, so now the other thing that you can do with your questions, you can basically move them around. So once you've created the questions, you can then decide, you know what, let me change the order. Like in our case, we can bring this question all the way to the bottom. We can move them around as you please. So you can select the correct order that you want your kids to answer your questions. There we go. We basically check our quiz. We're happy with everything. We make sure we have all the information that we need. And we basically just save and exit. So after that, you can always find your quiz here and it'll stay there. So whenever you guys decide to launch the quiz, that's where you can find it. So let's go back to the first page. Now you get to choose what kind of quiz you want to give. If it's just a regular quiz or a space race, remember space race is more for like groups. In this case, let's just go ahead and choose a regular quiz the kids have to take individually. Choose your quiz and then go next. Now here you have three different options. The first option we have, it's for basically students to, every time they answer, they can't go back and change the answer anymore. This one's student led, where the students can go back and forth, and then the last one of course is where the teacher leads. So let's go ahead and first choose the first choice. So after that, it gives you this page where it's basically waiting for people to sign in. On the student side, they go to socrative.com/student and they can join by using this name. This is your classroom name. So the kids can join by using that. Make sure it's spelled correctly, and once they join, it'll ask them for their name, and it'll keep asking them for their name for every activity that you launch. So there we go. So now we have a true and false question. Let's go ahead and submit the true and false question, and there it is. It tells you and it gives you the explanation. So now let's go and check the teacher side. There we go. So Carlos got that first one wrong. So you can be monitoring your kids as they progress through the quiz. Let's go ahead and submit that one, and let's submit the last one. Can't remember the right answer, so I think I'm gonna get a 0 for this quiz. Ah man. Okay, so let's go back to the teacher view, and there it is. So Carlos got everything wrong, and that's my open-ended. On the student side, this is what they'll get, basically waiting for the next question or the next activity to be assigned. And on the teacher side, we can just click finish, and we have our different reports. Again, if you want to download it, or if you just want to see the report. In our case, let's just go back to the original page. If you wanted to go back to the reports, you can go back to report, and that's where it's saved, so you always have a chance to go back and check it out later. So in this case, let's go ahead and view the chart. Look how cool this is. Again, you can hide the names of the kids, and you can hide their answers in case you just want to show like the basic data. So there we go. We only had one participant in this case, which was me. After this, let's go ahead and go to the first page, and then I want to show you how the space race works. This is basically for teams that select a quiz. This is the same quiz, and then you get to choose how many teams you're gonna have, and you get to choose like in this case, you're gonna have 4. And now you also get to choose whether the kids are auto-assigned or if the students get to choose which group they want to belong to. And then you have the same type of options. So there we go. So this is the way it shows for the teacher. So this is what you will project. On the kids side, the students will have to put their names. And once they put in the name, they have to choose which team they want to belong to. There we go. And now we start with a quiz, and this is like a group thing, and you can see your progress as the kids submit the answers. They'll be able to see their rocket just move forward. So in this case, I know the answer is false because I got it wrong the previous time. So yeah, there we go, I got it right. So now let's go look at you see, now my team has advanced because they got that question right. Let's go ahead and finish this. And again, it gives you your options for reporting. Let's just go back to the original page. And then finally the exit ticket. That one's super easy. You just press exit ticket, and then the kids would just have to do the same process again of inputting their name, and they're gonna get questions that are pre-designed already, such as how well did you understand today's material? Pretty well. What did you learn in today's class? So this is where the kids get a chance to write. So this is perfect for the fundamental 5. And then at the end, they actually have a specific question that the teacher can post. So let's say you have an Algebra 1 class, you can post a problem, and then you can say, you know what, the answer is x equals 3. And there you go, the kids have submitted their exit ticket, and this is what you get, your data. You can see, you know what, they got number 1, they feel this way, they feel that way. You can analyze your data. And again, you can always hide the names if you want to project that to the board. Okay. So that's pretty much it, the same as everything else, guys. You get the choice of how you want to do the reporting. So there you have it, guys, a very basic tutorial in Socrative. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and you get a chance to go and play with Socrative. Very simple but very powerful tool. Thank you, have a good one.